Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you're a parent or an educator staring down the barrel of summer break right now, I just want you to know, I see you. Your exhaustion, it's completely valid. We all want summer to be this magical, restful time, right? But without the right structure, it can just devolve into chaotic meltdowns and endless negotiations over screen time. Well, today, we're going to fix that. We're looking at a highly visual, research-backed framework designed by the educational experts at PlayPrintPals. And listen, this is definitely not about militant rules. It's about building a daily routine that actually survives the summer break and saves your sanity in the process. It all revolves around one simple, absolute game changer of a concept. We're going to see exactly why 5 blocks save summer. So let's just take a collective deep breath together. Here's our roadmap to a stress-free summer today. We'll start by looking at the dreaded Week 2 collapse, dive into the psychology of safety, and then introduce that magical 5-block day. After that, we'll cover bounded choices and visuals, adapt things for different ages, and finally, look at those sneaky routine breakers. All right, let's dive right into Section 1, the Week 2 collapse, or why summer schedules fail. Look, we've literally all been there. You spend your entire Memorial Day weekend crafting this beautifully detailed, color-coded, hour-by-hour summer schedule, right? Only to find yourself tossing it straight into the recycling bin by Week 2. It is incredibly frustrating, but there's a very good reason it happens. Traditional, rigid schedules are practically designed to trigger daily battles. Think about it. First, over-detailed, minute-by-minute schedules feel way too much like school. Kids just spent 9 months doing exactly that. They need a break. Second, text-only planners completely fail our visual thinking kids who really need pictures to process info quickly. Third, if you offer zero choice, you are absolutely guaranteeing a power struggle. And finally, if the rewards you're offering are too vague or way too far off in the future, kids just lose motivation. So the goal here isn't to create a stricter schedule, it's to create a smarter one.
Which brings us to Section 2, the psychology of safety, and exactly why kids actually need structure.
You know, there's this really common misconception out there that kids just want to run wild and totally free all summer. But child development psychology tells us a completely different story. Kids don't actually crave micromanagement, but they do crave the emotional safety that comes with predictability. When a routine is predictable, it dramatically lowers a child's anxiety. They know exactly what's coming next, which means they don't have to burn all their mental energy worrying about it, or, fighting you on it. In early childhood research, predictable routines are directly linked to better emotional regulation and far fewer meltdowns. And honestly, this need for predictable emotional safety is exactly why the 5-block system we're about to look at is the ultimate summer-saving framework. Okay, moving on to Section 3, the 5-block day, where simple absolutely beats detailed. Now, here is where the magic happens. We're replacing those rigid hourly schedules with a super forgiving, resilient framework. Dividing the whole day into 5 balanced slices just completely changes the game. Instead of this stressful linear timeline staring you down with exact clock times, we have 5 broad blocks: energy morning, mind morning, free afternoon, shared late afternoon, and calm evening. You don't have to watch the clock perfectly. You literally just move gracefully from one slice of the pie to the next. This flexible yet structured approach is exactly why these 5 blocks save summer. So let's walk through what a perfect summer day actually looks like using this timeline. You kick things off with the energy block in the morning. This is all about consistent wake-up times and light movement, maybe doing some stretching or having the kids help you prep breakfast. By the way, letting them pick their own breakfast toppings, that's a tiny choice that builds massive cooperation. Next up is the mind block. Now, don't worry, this isn't homework. It's just gentle brain activity, like 20 to 30 minutes of reading, puzzles, or drawing. Then the afternoon opens wide up to the free block. This is 100% child-led playtime. Following that, we transition into the late afternoon shared block, which is perfect for family projects or taking a nature walk. And finally, the day wraps up with the calm block, a nice screen-free wind-down ritual. Notice how each block just naturally flows into the next? It perfectly balances energy output with rest and connection. I really want to pause and emphasize the importance of that 4th block, the shared late afternoon. The research highlights something amazing. Shared, unstructured time is one of the strongest predictors of a child's sense of family closeness. It is so easy for us as adults to get caught up in keeping our kids busy and productive, but this quote is a great reminder to prioritize connection. Whether you're baking together and getting flour absolutely everywhere, or just taking a simple walk around the neighborhood, this unstructured connection is vital. Let's head into Section 4, bounded choices and visuals, or how to speak their language. Having the 5-block framework is amazing, but how do we actually implement it smoothly? Well, bounded choices are going to be your best friend.
Barking an order like "go read now" is pretty much a fast track to a screaming no from your kid, but asking, "Hey, do you want to read now or right after playtime?" That shifts the entire dynamic. You're offering two perfectly acceptable options. The child feels empowered because, hey, they get to choose. And you get exactly what you want because both options lead to reading. It almost entirely eliminates those exhausting daily power struggles.
But alongside bounded choice, you really have to speak your child's first language. And for kids under 10, that language is pictures. Kids process visuals so much faster than text. If you have a wall chart, utilizing color-coded blocks like a bright sunshine yellow for the morning and maybe a soft lavender for the evening, paired with simple icons is incredibly effective. Even setting up a movable card system with a to-do and a done column gives kids this highly visual, interactive way to see their progress without needing to read a single word. Ultimately, these visual cues are the glue that holds the 5-block day together, ensuring the system actually survives the entire summer.
All right, Section 5, Age Adaptations. Let's talk about tweaking the formula.
One of the absolute best things about this 5-block system is how flexible it is. Let's break down how to tweak this as your kid grows. For the little ones, ages 3 to 6, you really want to use single symbol picture cards right at their eye level. Their attention span is pretty short, so aim for 10 to 15-minute activities and stick to near identical daily repetition to really build up that sense of security. Now, for growing kids, ages 7 to 12, you can introduce a star or points reward chart. Moving to a weekly reward rather than a daily one really helps build patience and delayed gratification. And for the teenagers, ages 13 to 18, you're going to shift away from imposed schedules entirely, move towards self-managed planners, and maybe just have a simple weekly check-in. The focus here is balancing rest with personal responsibility, and maybe having them keep their phone face down nearby as a subtle visual cue so they don't turn into complete screen zombies during their free time.
And that brings us to our final section, Section 6, Routine Breakers and the Mistakes to Avoid. So even the most perfectly designed routine can fall apart if you aren't prepared for the pitfalls. Let's look at 5 common mistakes that can instantly derail your summer progress. First up, overloading the schedule. Keep it simple, guys. Don't pack in too many activities. Second, relying on screen time as your only reward. Try to mix it up with small toys or family outings instead. Third, punishing routine slip-ups with anger. This totally ruins that emotional safety we talked about earlier. Fourth, just copy-pasting a generic template without adapting it to your own child's specific quirks and age. And finally, the biggest mistake of all, expecting perfection instead of consistency. Listen, some days are just going to be messy, and that is perfectly okay.
Honestly, one of the best ways to ensure consistency, even on those really messy days, is to absolutely nail the calm evening block. Just look at this exact sequence. Step 1, a warm bath and wash up. Step 2, quiet story time. Step 3, a gentle conversation about their day. And Step 4, dimming the lights with 0 screens for 30 to 60 minutes before sleep. This precise, consistent wind-down ritual is the ultimate hack. It signals to their brain that the day is completely done, ensuring things end on a positive note no matter what kind of chaos happened during the afternoon.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today, from the magic of the 5-block day to bounded choices and the psychology of emotional safety. Remember, keep it simple, make it visual, and let them choose. I want to leave you with this final provocative question to think about. Will your summer be defined by rigid rules or predictable play? It's time to ditch the micromanagement, embrace the 5 blocks, and go build a summer filled with joyful, stress-free predictability. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.